So right now, I will do the brief explanation about the OSI layer model. Basically, there are several layers of OSI layer model, and the first one is the physical layer. Physical layer, it transmits raw bit stream over the physical medium. Next, the second layer is the data link layer, which it defines the format of data on the network. And the third layer is network layer. The network layer decides which physical path the data will take. And the fourth layer is the transport layer, which it transmits data using transmission protocols including TCP and UDP. Next, the fifth session layer. The session layer maintains connections and is responsible for controlling port and session. And the second last layer is the presentation layer, which it ensures that data is in a usable format and is where data encryption occurs. And the last one is the seventh layer, which is the application layer, where the human-computer interaction layer, where application can access the network service. The last layer is the application layer. As we all know, the application layer provided services to the user. Based on this project, this layer allows all UTM students to access the ULEN system. It also allows the student to log in as a remote host. All the UTM students now can access the ULEN system through the link provided. And through the ULEN, students can view all the lecture notes and do exercise in there. On the presentation layer, when the student is trying to open the ULEN system, the encryption will happen first, and then the decryption will happen. During the decryption, data translation and data compression will be happening, and once it is completed, as well as the privacy is ensured, then the student may open the ULEN system successfully, as the ULEN system understands the data that is received.
Assalamualaikum, I am SHARIFAH on ATHIRAH. I will explain the layer 5, session layer. Based on the project scenario, the student's network is working as the connection between UTM IT Center to reach the ULEN system server. If the connection is established, this layer will start the session and keep it going for as long as needed. While if the connection between the student's network and the UTM server fail, the session layer will stop and ask the user to refresh so the session layer can establish again.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is MARLISSA BINTI SUKOR. I will explain about layer 4, which is transport layer. So, based on the scenario, the transport layer, which is placed on top of the network layer, transport data from process on the UTM IT center to process on the ULEN system server. It ensures the quality of service is maintained by being hosted on one or several networks. Then, it also the amount of data that must be provided and at what rate. This layer is receive and decodes message from the ULEN system server. It makes easy to prepare data unit in an accurate and timely manner.
So the purpose of the network layer is to do logical addressing and routing. So from the segments that we've gotten from the transport layer, it will be divided or broken down into packets. So for example, the students wants to connect to the IT center or the ULEN, but they have to connect to the public network first. So the IP address of the students, as you can see, and the IP address of the ULEN system will be given a new IP address to each of the segment to form packets. So by using this new address, we'll be able to make sure that the student's computer will reach the right destination, which is the ULEN server. Next is the data link layer. It's responsible for sending the data from the CPDC to the ULEN system by transmitting frames from one node to the other. So from the packets that we see from the network layer, this layer will break up the packets into frames and then transmit it to the place that is supposed to be or destination. Also, this layer will correct any errors that's been or happen at the physical layer.
My name is SITI binti KHAIDZIR. I'm going to present the button of the stack, which is the physical layer. Physical layer is made up of a network's core networking hardware and transmission mechanism. Based on the scenario, Individual bits are passed from one layer to the next by the physical layer. On this layer, the student network, which is also the home network, is communicated as ones and zero. The physical layer makes sure that the data sent from the student to the server in the IT center is the same order as when it was sent. The bits will be read from the physical medium, convert into frames, and send it to the data link layer.
So next is the subnetting calculation. So UTEM has 8 faculties. There will be 8 and then plus 1 since the IT center is only 1. So a total of 9 subnets that's going to be used. So based on the number of subnets, we'll be using the formula for 2 to the power of S. S will be the mod of bits borrowed. So with a subnet equals to 9, we have to find the anything that's more than 9. So the closest one is 2 to the power of 4, which is equivalent to 16. So the amount of bits borrowed is S, which is 4. So the custom subnet mask will be 255.240.0. So that's the custom one. So the amount of available hosts is 4094. So since we'll be using FLSM, which is fixed length subnet mask, we have to find the magic numbers. Because of the subnet, we'll have the same amount of available hosts. From using the magic number, we have gotten 16. So we differentiate the distance of the third octet of the network address. So from this, we can create the IP table. So knowing the subnet will be total of 16, but we'll be only using 9. So 8 of the faculty and 1 of the IT center, which consists of the ULIN system. So the magic number will be input into the network address. So the range from one subnet to another is 16. So we add up until 214. So for the IT center, we know the network address is 192.168.128.0, but we will only be using the fifth address, which is 192.168.128.5.
Yes, I will explain about TCP IP setting manual. The first step, you must go to search and search control panel and then click open. After that, in step 2, after you open the control panel, you must click the network and internet. Then in step 3, you must choose network and sharing center menu.
For the step 4, click on the access, type connection. I choose the internet Wi-Fi my UTEM. After that, the properties screen will be pop up, and then click on the internet protocol version TCP/IPv4 and then click OK.
Next, enter IP address and DNS server address, which is the IP address. We use the file available address that assigned for the address of the user system server and click OK. Next, click on OK. And lastly, open command prompt and enter command ipconfig/on, and you can see the IP address, default gateway, DNS server is already changed. Thank you.